Now let's quickly set up the board for a 2-player game. Set aside 2 different number tiles chosen randomly. Place the remaining 16 randomly on the squares between the octagons. Set aside 5 yarns, 1 of each color. Now, place the remaining 25 yarns at the center of the octagons. Each player then rolls the number die to determine the starting position. The game starts with the player who rolled the highest number on the die. In case of a tie amongst the players, they roll again. Starting from the player who rolled the highest number, all players get a design card, action card and 2 tokens. Now let's go check out the gameplay. There are 4 key aspects during a turn. Roll the dice, gain tokens or action card, exchange a design card and perform actions. A turn always starts with the player rolling the dice. As yellow is rolled, check the number of yarns matching yellow on the roll die next to each player's pin. Accordingly, each player gains 1 token per matching yarn. Orange gains 1 token and black gains no tokens. The player may exchange a design card at this point with the stack, after which the player's turn ends. No more actions can be further performed. If a player has not exchanged, then the player may perform one or more of the following actions. A move is mandatory and must be performed during the turn. The player pin may be moved to an unoccupied number tile matching the number rolled or move as many steps. After the move, the player can optionally perform a free swap of any 2 yarns adjacent to the player's new position on the board. The free swap, however, is allowed only if it is the next action immediately after the move. Other actions may be performed based on tokens and action cards available with the player. Pay 2 tokens to get an action card from the stack. Pay 3 tokens to swap positions of any 2 yarns on the board. Pay 3 tokens to get a design card from the stack. Play 1 or more action cards in hand. Claim a completed design. The design can be located anywhere on the board and can be claimed using any color combination provided the pattern logic matches. This design card is worth 1 victory point. The pattern should consist of 5 yarns along the diagonal direction with the center yarn of 1 color, the other 4 yarns of a second color. The player has moved and swapped as a first step. Then, the player uses a swap action card to swap positions of the yellow and the blue yarns. Now the player claims the design. When claiming a design, other players shall validate the completed design. Once validated, the player keeps the claimed design card face up in front. The player is out of actions and the turn ends. The next player then rolls the dice. When black is rolled, then the player gains an action card. The game ends with the first player completing 8 victory points or annas. Let's understand the different action cards. Move. This card allows the player to move to any unoccupied square on the board. The player can also move to a square on the outer edge of the board. This card replaces the normal move based on the die rolled. Swap. This card allows the player to swap any 2 random yarns on the board. Steal action card. This card allows the player to steal an action card randomly from an opponent player. A victory point card kept face up cannot be stolen. Steal tokens. This card allows the player to steal a maximum of 2 tokens from an opponent player. Tax. This card allows the player to levy a tax of 1 token on all the opponent players. The opponents must pay 1 token to the reserve.